We are live. Just gotta make sure I do this. Are you ready to rock? Let's get it, bro. Ready?
Yeah.
I keep hearing Khaled, but
I don't know why you're hearing him, bro. Do you hear DJ Khaled right now, Shane?
No.
You might have to refresh your page, bro.
It's actually hilarious you keep hearing DJ Khaled.
I don't know. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I'll come back in.
Okay. Well, now Shane left too, bro. How'd you leave?
Don't know.
All right. Let's do it. Okay. When Brian comes back. Oh, my boys are in the building. Everybody's out here joining this. Okay. All right, we're going now. Sounds better, Brian?
Yeah.
Go big plays. Tied up, splits the double.
Yes,
She's gonna get a shot off. He's
and we are back with another episode of Stick Talk. We are talking that stick. Today, we've got West Coast Shane showing up late to the party, and then we got Brian out here also. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about Tyson Bell, some NLL drama going on. JUCO rule change, that AU is dropped, top 50 list, PLL versus college, and we're also going to talk about that Zed trade for a little bit. But once again, this is sponsored by absolutely nobody today, but it's sponsored by Santa.
Howl at us. Sponsors, howl at us.
But we got some stuff coming, hopefully. But let's get going with this one. I think the more important thing that we start off with today is that Tyson Bell drama that's going on, right? If you don't know, Tyson Bell, NLL player, got in an interaction with some fans after his game. I don't even know what team he's on, but let's take a look.
The Halifax Thunderbirds.
Oh, the Halifax Thunderbirds. All right. Let's take a look at that video real quick. Logan, this is Coach Scoro. No, not that one.
Ooh, with the stick, too. Yeah.
Hey, can we stop saying he hit this dude in the head with his stick? Like, he hit him in the head. No, he didn't. He hit him in the shoulder. Stop it.
Yo, he got him in like the neck area right here, bro.
Yeah, he popped him.
No, but they're making it seem like he like Ken Griffey swing this dude in the head with a stick. Like, come on, man.
Nah, it wasn't like that.
It was a big swing though, and every time I see like a player react to a fan like this, I'm like, yo, the fan had to do something to warrant it.
For sure. 100%. Yeah, I mean, there's no way you're going to convince me that he just came out of nowhere and was pissed and decided to take it out on a random fan for no reason. Somebody was John.
Hard.
Somebody had to be John. Yeah, saying something crazy.
Right. And little background information I got, I don't know if they want me to say who it was, but somebody who was at the game that was on the floor was like, he was super calm in the handshake line. And then if he turned up like that, you said something. We can't substantiate the rumors, but from what everybody had said, that he was making some comments about his fiance, might have been some children talked about. All right. I don't care. Do you miss me with that professional athlete? Because we're going to stop putting professional athletes on a pedestal like they're not human beings. Like, stop looking at athletes and the entertainers like they're not people. So then you say stuff to them, you become a keyboard warrior. And like my man Dave Chappelle said, when keeping it real goes wrong.
100%.
Stop talking to athletes like they're not people. And that they're not, like, I don't care, none of that. Like, I don't have to. You can say whatever you want to say to somebody. Know that there's consequences to what you say. But we're so used to, and interesting, fellas, that a lot of the people that are calling my guy Ty Bell all types of scumbags and he can't do this, or all the people with anonymous accounts. You don't even have your face on your words, and you talking about somebody said something and then put their hands on you. Cause y'all those ones that y'all like saying stuff to people and being in anonymity and saying whatever you want to say to people, and you don't, cause like it's and people are like, well, you can't. If you're walking in public, I'm gonna guess if somebody walks past Shane and Shane's married, they're not gonna say nothing about your wife in front of you, cause you know, cause like, yo, Shane a big dude. I'm not like, even if they don't know you, I'm gonna put your hands. I'm gonna put, cause right.
You gonna catch some pause. You gonna get some pause. You
Like,
talking crazy.
and then you not wrong, right? Like that's what's crazy. People are like, I don't understand how y'all think that y'all can say anything you want to somebody and then not have a reaction to it.
Yeah. I think a lot of fans, especially even when I'm at the PLL games, like you get your fans, of course, that are super nice to you, like super honored to meet you and do this and that. But then you get those few fans that are just there to troll somebody and just try to get a reaction out of you, or like they'll say things that are gonna just piss you off. And then when you act about it, then it's like you're the bad guy, right? But
yeah,
that fan clearly said something that warranted that reaction. That's how I'm taking it.
For sure. You
Kevin
said
just
something
said it.
crazy.
Kevin on Twitter just said it. Kevin said that fan wanted to smoke. Everyone got what they want. Exactly. You wanted a reaction out of him, and you got one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're the league, though, how do you handle this? Right. This is the lacrosse equivalent. Not even equivalent, man. But this is the closest thing lacrosse is ever going to get to Malice in the Palace, man.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I agree. I mean, it needs. I'm kind of glad it happened, because then it's like, all right, yeah, you can't. You're not hiding behind a keyboard. Yeah, you're not hiding behind a keyboard no more. You actually have to deal with this issue when you're talking crazy. Right, you see, Diggs was like, the only thing left to do is to change his name to Meta World Peace. That's the only thing left to do. And I couldn't agree more, bro. I couldn't agree more. You got it, man.
Now I'm curious to see how the league is going to react to this, man. Because I understand as a league, you're like, this is so wrong. But also, if this fan was saying crazy stuff like this, what? The player can't defend themselves at all? So it's going to be interesting to see how the league handled it. What would you do if you were the NLL commissioner? Would you be like, "Yo, you're suspended for a game, 2 games"?
I'd give him a game just to say that we did discipline him. I wouldn't give him more than a game.
Yeah, me neither. And like I don't know, I'm biased because like I've interacted with Tyson, so like that's my guy. So maybe I'm a little bit, I can't see it in an unbiased way, but then it's just like we're all humans, but I think with like the 4 of us in particular on this podcast, like we've all had like that social media clout enough where we all have to deal with people just like saying stuff, and it's like stuff that you notice you wouldn't say to none of us to our face, but it's like I'm gonna say it because I got a picture of a dog or an American flag in as my avatar. So I'm gonna say right, which you know what that means. I'm gonna say whatever I want to somebody, and it's like, nah, man, like we got to do something. Like, yeah, you put your hands on them, and I'm sure Ty's like, yo, I know there's consequences to my actions, but again, I don't necessarily think he was wrong in this. So
No.
get your game, go back to playing lacrosse.
I mean, also at the same time, the responsibility of the people in security. I mean, to at the very least, like if you see this one person is, by the way, as Jerry said, in striking distance. If he's in striking distance and he's talking trash, like it's your responsibility to protect both people, right? You got to protect the player, you got to protect the fan, because inevitably something is going to happen. Inevitably, somebody is going to get popped. I don't know who, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's kind of it's so interesting, right? Like, because he also said if you're going to chirp, like do it in the back row, and say whatever you want. But it's interesting. It's kind of like, oh, dude, it's the funniest thing whenever somebody like will go. And I specifically see it on Miles Jones' Instagram. They'll like talk trash at him on Instagram.
No,
and
really?
then they'll say something, and then Miles will respond, and then the response from the same person is like, oh yeah, well, you're my bad, dude. You're great. I'm just joking around. Like it's
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
dude, stand on business. Like if you can sit here and talk your trash, like stand on business. But it's crazy that it's like the trolling is now like a thing that kids like to do now. They like to troll. They like to make fun, and that's fine. But understand that there's a reason there wasn't a lot of trolling and pranks happening back in the days, because you start messing with some folks, you're gonna get popped.
Again,
You gonna get popped.
and that might be again why I'm like I'm seeing it differently to other people, because it's like none of us are old, but like I'm the oldest out of the four of us, and Mike and I are a couple years apart. So like he'll get it too. Like when MySpace was just becoming a thing, when Facebook and all these things were becoming a thing, you had to go outside still. So if you
Yeah.
said something, you still had like you can live completely online now. But again, for like the third age of millennials that we all are, a point came where the internet was a thing, social media was becoming a thing, but then you still saw the people. Most of the people that you follow and interacted with were people that you knew. So if you said something slick, you were gonna see that person at some point.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
2 o'clock when the bell rings, meet me outside. Like that was the environment. So it's like again, from what rumors are, it wasn't no regular Tyson Bell, you suck. It was you crossed over a line, you threatened a man and his family. What they say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's exactly what happened.
You violate somebody, their significant other, children, whatever. You got what you deserve, bro. And the funny thing in that video
100%.
was notice that after it happened, the security, they weren't all running in on Tyson Bell. They were coming at them two dudes that was talking. So clearly they knew something happened.
Yeah.
Be
that close. Like, why be that close just to talk your trash? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, or just say the normal stuff. Just say the normal stuff. Like,
yeah.
You're bringing up MySpace, yo. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah,
I never
Michael,
had a MySpace. Never had a MySpace.
Yeah, because you probably was late elementary, early middle school. So yeah, it had its little run where we all realized that we all could do. We all know how to do web stuff. Web design.
The other guy got hit in like the face with that. Not the face. He got hit in the neck. I'll give them the neck hit, but it was solid. It was solid hit with the stick.
You wanted to try to help the man out. All right, cool. He catch his ass too.
100%.
I mean, reality got to him real fast.
Yep.
You know who reality also got to? Yup, these JUCO colleges, man. These JUCO college. Reality is back, or is it reality? Who knows? But you guys hear about this JUCO rule change? It says that JUCO athletes can now play 2 years in JUCO, and that eligibility is not counted towards their NCAA eligibility.
Does this start immediately?
Like, I think it starts next year.
Oh,
yeah.
Crazy rule.
This is so crazy because as soon as I saw this rule, I was like, this is gonna have such problems because what's the advantage of going to prep school now over going to a JUCO, right? And if I really wanted to play the system, I could go to prep school after high school and then do 2 years of JUCO. Now I'm 21 and now I have 4 years in college. And we're not even including any red shirts or whatever injury years. These dudes are going to be 27 finishing college, bro.
School or something.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because if you got held back in elementary school or something, you come in as like a 20-year-old freshman. That's crazy.
Yeah, forget about it, bro. I think this is like
prep schools might be a little mad.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. What I think is interesting because I think there's if I'm not mistaken, there's a rule surrounding how many players teams can have on their, or how many players that a team can have on its team. And I think it's like 45 or something like that, isn't it?
48.
48. So realistically, I think this is actually going to funnel people to JUCO, because if I'm a college coach, like I could have theoretically an 18-year-old doesn't know how to do anything, doesn't know how to, first of all, like handle their liquor, handle alcohol. So already you're like from that 18 to 19, 20, Like those kids are, a walking liability because anything can happen for them. If I'm a college coach and I have 48 spots that I can give scholarships to, ideally, I would want to have the kid that just played 2 years of community college over an 18-year-old 18-year-old freshman, true freshman, because I only have 48 spots. I would much rather have a 20-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old with 4 years of eligibility that I don't really have to like teach how to kind of get into the motion and the rhythm of college lacrosse. I would much rather that player than having an 18-year-old who I'm going to have to probably develop a little bit, probably, get in the weight room a little bit more, a little bit longer. And, I might get them for a red shirt. I might not, it's crazy.
What would you want? A freshman, a 20-year-old freshman that played 2 years of JUCO, or a 17-year-old freshman that's stepping away from the high school game? And
Bro, that's 21.
Clearly, the 21-year-old that's played those 2 years, he's not going to have a harder time adjusting to that college speed.
No.
And so what's crazy, I was doing some research. I ended up finding a phone call between like one of the recruits who was committed to a college and their coach. Here, I'll show you guys this. Hey, Logan, this is Coach Scoro from your favorite D1 school. How you doing, man?
Hey, Coach, doing good. High school's been going well, and I'm about ready to commit, though.
Yeah, about that. We actually have to revoke your scholarship.
Why, Coach? I thought you said I was your number one recruit.
Listen here, son. I lied. And now that I could get JUCO players with a fresh slate, that's what I'm going with.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. But I'll tell you this. Go to prep school, play JUCO for 2 years, and then I'd be happy to reconsider.
So you want me to play another 3 years before coming to your school?
Do you understand English? That's exactly what I said. Listen, I got to get out of here. I have a 24-year-old freshman calling me.
You can't even tell. Why did you make that?
Yo, I'm laughing because I didn't realize it was something that Scotty did. So I was like, do we have the rights to play this conversation?
I was like, I heard this conversation. I'm like, there's no way Scotty's cosplaying as a coach. No, there's no way. There's no way. And then it kept going, and I was like, oh, Scotty, why? Why?
Yeah.
That's funny because it's true.
Yo, listen, man. That's the phone call a lot of these kids are about to get when this JUCO thing starts happening, man. They're gonna be like,
that's what it was, right? And because the crazy thing is, so it was I think like a week or two ago, I saw something on Twitter and they were talking about some school. I can't remember the name of the school, so I can say the name that that's not doing lacrosse anymore. And they were talking about JUCO dying because they're like it's a certain amount of JUCO schools throughout the country on the men's side, and then they said on the women's side it's even less. And they were just talking about JUCO dying a slow death. And then this news comes in, and it's like everything that any pause that people would have took with JUCOs is now alleviated, because it would be the thing where, because I use myself as an example, I had a route where possibly could have played at Syracuse, and it was you gotta go JUCO for 2 years. And my thing was, why would I go JUCO, lose 2 years of eligibility, and I don't need it for the academic reasons, so there's no point in me doing it. And I'm just saying that to say that that would be a lot of the things that people would automatically put their nose up at JUCO, like I don't want to lose 2 years of eligibility. And everybody thinks they're gonna go D1, so then they'll be like, okay, I don't want to lose 2 years and then have a year trying to get used to the program, and then all of a sudden I'm a senior. But now it's like, oh, okay. And prep school is gonna be pissed because it's like, okay, you can go to a JUCO, have your college credits. They said your eligibility wise, a freshman. If you do what you're supposed to do in those 2 JUCO years, you're walking in as a junior. So then your last 2 years, you could either get your master's or take one class of nonsense and take basket weaving or a cinema class and legit just play lacrosse your last 2 years. Like the dollar sides of JUCOs now are like, yeah,
yep,
come here because you're gonna get good education if you put into it what you were supposed to. You're playing adults, and then okay, and you still gonna have your full eligibility.
It was
That was the
a
only thing people would wrinkle their nose at it.
it came from like a football ruling or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I forgot what it was, a quarterback.
It's the craziest thing. I
Yes.
think the only sport it really benefits long term is lacrosse. And I here's why I say this. If you are 19 years old, 19, 20 years old, and then you decide to go and play 4 more years of college football, not including red shirts, you could be leaving your college career at like 24, 26. At 26 years old, you're already past the prime for the NFL. If you're trying to play in the NFL at 26 years old, you just gave up 4 years of opportunity for you to get better. Because the average lifespan of of a football player isn't very long. It isn't very long at all. On top of the fact that for basketball, it's even it might be even worse. I mean,
Your
you might
basketball players about to abuse the hell out of this.
yeah, if you're a basketball player, it might be even worse because your time frame for you to be able to play is so much. Yeah, it's so much later. I will admit, but it's still like, are you entering in the draft at 26 years old? Like, no, you don't have that much time left.
I think usually I am one of those guys that's like, yeah, you have more eligibility. Use all of it. Use it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is bringing it to a whole nother level. And now all these, I know that think of how crazy it is with the reclasses in like high school and middle school, right? This brings it into the college level now. It's like he's the best freshman in the country. By the way, he's 25, 24. Like,
yeah,
it's they're just a whole lot with that JUCO rule change. There's going to be a ripple effect on it because, in theory, like now these athletes could be 25 years old and going into their senior year.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. But those are guys that have. If you're doing that, that's probably because you have no chance of going to the PLL.
But
even
going
to the PLL, let's finish the top 50 list, Shane. Let's go into the top 50. Yo. So I want to talk about this top 50, right? For a quick second. Let's start off with a game. I want to go higher or lower. Okay. Now, don't give me any reasons. I'm gonna name a couple players. And I'm gonna be like, oh, this is a funny comment on Twitter.
Yeah.
Live comment from Kevin. There's gonna be 27-year-olds living in a lax house and going to Tri-Delt formal.
Yuck. Yuck.
Great. Okay.
Oh my god. That's so
talk about I'm still on the team. Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't get a job,
if you don't get a family fast, boy.
So I want to do this game. It's called higher and lower. Okay. I'm gonna say a player in their ranking, then you respond if they should be higher or lower. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Kieran McCardle, 32.
Higher.
Okay, higher is like ranked better.
Yeah,
or
better.
Okay,
better.
Yeah, higher.
I'm gonna go higher on that. Garrett Epple, 21.
Lower.
Lower. JT Giles Harris, 22.
Higher. Much higher.
Disrespected.
All right, higher. I'll go higher. Matt Rambo, 31.
Lower.
Definitely lower.
Lower. Damn, we're all agreeing on this. Okay. Rob Pennell, 38.
Lower.
I think that's appropriate.
It's higher or lower, Shane, not higher appropriate.
Okay, it's not lower. I would say lower more than higher for sure.
Okay. Lower. Jared Newman, 47.
I'd go lower before I say higher.
That's what I want to say appropriate too.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go lower on that.
Yeah.
Dude, he had one of the worst years of his career this year.
Nah, I don't think he did. Because they had the best defense in the league.
Yo, yeah. Is it crazy to think
score.
he had that one year, what was it, 2019, where he was like
the inaugural, because everybody sees him as just being able to score. As a defender, he's been better since 2019, and he was in 2019 as a defender. He just doesn't score anymore.
Who do you like more, him or Troy Ray? I know they're different positions, but who do you like more?
Newman, 100%.
Yeah,
I think I'd agree with that.
I don't know.
On ball, he's been excellent on ball the last few years. He's just not scoring because they put him where he's supposed to be. Because he's not. Jared Newman's not. You don't necessarily want him on your top defender, but he can. He's the dude that guards Zed. He's the dude that you want to. I don't want to use Atlas as an example because they're all. But on your second best player or attackman, Jared Newman is going to do very well guarding them.
What about Ajax Zapatello being 49?
Is John here? I thought it was appropriate. I would possibly say higher because I thought he had an excellent season.
Yeah, I would say higher for sure.
I would say higher for him too, man. And the top 3 was Jeff Teat, Tom Schreiber, Blaze Reardon. I see that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not like a what? Those are it's fair. Tom Schreiber should be top 3 no matter what.
Yeah. It was crazy that none of us put him in our top 3s. That was on us.
I said it. I think Zach Carrier is the best midi in the world. So I thought a midfielder should be number 3. I thought it should have been Zach Carrier, but I'm not like just like say something like what Tom Schreiber like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is players top 50, right? So, I have no doubt that they like Tom Schreiber more than most.
He's earned it.
Yeah. So, I mean, Tom Schreiber could probably he didn't even have as good of a year this year as he did in the years past. And it's still, I still think it's appropriate because, I mean, not only does it seem like he's a great guy, but he's also just him. You give him the ball, he's gaming it. He basically won a championship for him last year. Like,
right.
And he probably would have single-handedly kept it from being a game if he was able to play this year.
Mm-hmm.
So not surprised.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any problems with the top 50 list?
Nah, I mean, players are going to pick whoever they want. I mean, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Oh no.
Now,
I'll say one thing.
Go ahead.
Can people stop being like that person where like, why are you guys arguing about the top 50? We get to talk about Phil Lacrosse in December. Like it's not. It was something different to talk about. We could just talk about the season and the season players had. Like I don't think anybody was really like punching a hole through a wall. Like, come on, man, stop being that person on social media. Look, yeah, stop doing that. It's fun to talk about.
So New York Stampede just asked us a question on Instagram. They said, did you guys think Dobson should have been over Blaze this year?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The results are on the field for everybody because people were saying that to me. The results are on the field. Who won the last 2 championships? The Utah Archers. Who was the MVP of the last 2 championships? The Utah Archers. Oh, the Utah Archers and the Carolina Chaos just played in the playoff games. Brett Dobson had to go against who? Blaze Reardon. Who won that matchup? Brett Dobson.
Yeah.
Like what going in the playoffs, the Hoodie Mellow, the playoff whatever. Like when they're just different. My dude that plays for the Heat. Why am I blanking on his name? That went to
Jimmy
Marquette.
Butler?
Yeah, playoff Jimmy Butler, where it's like they're in a different level when they play. I'm cool. Like with people saying Blaze is the best goalie in the world, fine, but he's not because Blaze he's struggled a little bit in the playoffs. Not all on him. Who stepped their game up in the playoffs? Brett Dobson. And it you can be the second best at something, and that doesn't mean that you're not a top 5 or 6 player in the world.
If I'm understanding it right, I think the players voting on it has something to do with it. I think the respect that Blaze has from all the players is just more than Dobson. Even though, like statistically speaking, Dobson might have done better than Blaze, and even with the back-to-back championships that Dobson had. Just players love Blaze and give him that respect. And I think that's what puts him above Dobson. So it's like until the players are going to look at it without being biased or anything, like just looking at performance on field, then it's
I get it
Blaze for a while.
I get it.
It's like when you try to tell Mike Terry that LeBron's better than Jordan, like he's just thinking emotionally.
Exactly. So somebody's not even a compare. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Real conversation is if Jordan is 3 to 5 now, but that's a conversation for another time.
Well, anybody above the age of like 45 watching this is like,
yeah. White knuckles, everything, crazy.
Arthur Mead.
So yeah, the PLL dropped their top 50 list. Speaking of dropping, AU dropped their women's lacrosse league.
Hey, yo.
Crazy that AU dropped their
How'd you get
women's
so good at this?
I give him this. He's talented. It's a talent. It's an actual talent.
I'm not laughing at the league and them dropping the league. That's not the part I'm laughing at. No disrespect to the. I'm just laughing at the segue.
Yo, I see you guys in the comments right now on Instagram talking about Jordan, right? If you guys want to talk about this Jordan stuff, join the Stick Squad because I will tell you good as LeBron. Anyway.
And if you in the comments and you under the age of 30 saying that Jordan's better than LeBron, the only Michael Jordan you know is from The Last Dance. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Anyway, speaking of this AU drop, right? AU, if you don't know, was the women's lacrosse league in the summer that was ran by Athletes Unlimited. That's where they had all their games in Maryland at the US Lacrosse, wherever that place was. And that was the only women's professional league for that summer, right? Like, I guess that was the pinnacle of women's lacrosse at the time. And then the WLL came about, which was created by the PLL, but it's only a winter sixes tournament. Now, this is a little problematic for me because some of these players, like some of these women's players who are coaches and unfortunately can't make the WLL games in the winter, now they have nowhere to really play it unless they're playing on like the USA team or something. But now they don't have like a platform to play on. But there was also another women's league that Angie Benson came up with. So I think this is an opportunity for Angie to take that by the pros league and put it out, man. Because there's going to be a bunch of women being like, yo, I want to play now. I want to play somewhere in the summer because, there's spots are limited now in this WLL thing. And, there's some women who still think they're professional lacrosse players. And shit, Angie might provide them with that opportunity.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, that's the part because I think it was just timing and the optics of it. People were like, "Oh, the WLL started in AU." I don't think it was one had to do with the other. But yeah, that's the thing too, where we know I'm not like huge on sixes, but it's like, yeah, there's no place for all these talented women to play professional field lacrosse. I think the WLL is going to eventually lead into field lacrosse, but for the time being, like it sucks because I love lacrosse. I love watching women's lacrosse, and it's like AU. It's hard sometimes during the summer. It was hard to catch all the games, but it's professional field lacrosse, and you have all these talented players, and it's like it just stinks.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a great point. Like, if you're coaching or just you don't have the time commitment because what the championship series runs in February. So like if you have a normal 9 to 5 and you use your, may not have the ability to use time to take a week off from work. Like, yeah, that's like, man, I want to see them still play. Hopefully sooner than later, the WLL they do something for the summer, which I always thought was going to be a thing anyway, but now this puts more.
Yeah. Hopefully they do something because you got these talented girls like or talented women like Sama Puzo. I didn't see her at the WLL stuff, and they haven't really marketed her. And she's like debatably the best women's lacrosse player in the world right now. But she also coaches at Boston College. So imagine like a player like Sama Puzo not having a place to play professionally.
Angie, get on it, homie. Get on it.
Let me call you real quick. Like shoot. But that was big news for the women's lacrosse world. I saw that drop because I think with the WLL coming and then them with a month after being like, yeah, we're not doing the lacrosse thing anymore. it just looks crazy.
Yeah, it's bad on optics, but I have to believe that part of the reason for the WLL existing is the fact that they probably knew that AU was going to drop. Like they were like, oh, okay. I mean, you guys got this, but if you don't got this, then I guess we'll just, start trailblazing away for it just to make sure that it happens.
Yeah.
I have a heart, like I had a conversation with somebody this weekend who was like, did the PLL just kill the AU so that they could make the WLL? And I was like, I don't
think so. Yeah.
I don't think that's what happened.
No,
I think
they were mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I think the AU is probably slowly dying, and PLL is like, okay, we'll do something. We can't commit to a full season right now, but we can do something and utilize the same space that we have coming up to kind of build interest. So, I mean, good on them for that, but I mean, it does suck to not have field lacrosse for some of these ladies. So, yeah,
crazy out there, but. I want to bring it to another topic. I have no segue for this one. But in the stick squad, we were getting into it a little bit. I was getting into it with Gugs a little bit because I said that a college team would put up a game against a PLL team in a game with college rules. Right?
100%.
Huh?
100%.
What do you say, Brian? Yo, this is.
I'll tell you why.
You guys are gonna bring up size. You guys are gonna bring up athleticism, bro. This is the thing that what makes me think about it.
Gonna bring it up. Okay, I want to hear what you got. You're very passionate about this, so I want to hear.
Because me bringing up the conversation isn't. Some people take it and be like, "Yo, pros versus college players." There's no way that would ever be a game. Right. But in lacrosse, we managed to do it. We do the USA versus the winner of the college championship. And there is no way in God's name that should ever be a competitive game. Now, I understand chemistry is one point of it, right? Like these college kids play together, and these USA guys are just brand new. You give me 5 NBA players, any 5 NBA players, and put them against a national champion college basketball team, those 5 NBA players are smacking a
100%.
college team.
100%.
Lacrosse is a sport where it's possible to happen.
100%. 100%. I couldn't agree more with that. It's like, yeah, at the college level, I mean, for lacrosse specifically, it can work, and it does work. But NBA, NFL, any other pro league, no, those teams are getting smacked if they even tried to. Don't care what you say. But college and lacrosse, I think so. I think this last year's Notre Dame team could probably, this last year's Notre Dame team, I think would still put up like at least 4 or 5 goals on the based off of the way the Chaos performed in their last game. 100%. I mean, they only scored 1 goal. It's like, yeah, I think Liam Entenmann would have. I mean, think about that. It's like that last Notre Dame team had Pat Cavanaugh, Chris Cavanaugh, Liam Entenmann. Gosh, what's his name? Not Jake. I want to say Jake Taylor, but it's not. One who plays both sides of the ball.
Jordan Faison?
No, Faison for sure.
Devin McLean or whatever.
No, not Devin McLean. Oh, he plays a little LSM, but he also plays shorty.
Oh, Brian
Tevlin, yeah.
Tevlin.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, I don't see it happening.
So Scotty, what are you saying like the score would be? Because I agree with Shane if you're saying like could Notre Dame put up the national championships, put up 4 or 5 against like the Water Dogs? Yeah. But what are you saying the score would be, Scotty?
I think a PLL team, I could see it being within a 5-goal game.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, it's okay. This won't be a controversial topic. Nah, yeah, because you can win by 5 and it's not that close, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But like, I mean, I would take it a step further though if I'm trying to piss some people off and be like, yeah, it would be like a three goal game, or I'd be like, I'm not surprised. My original take in the group chat goes, I wouldn't be surprised if a college team could be a PLL team, and then
I
that's
think
when
I
it
feel
went
like
crazy.
that.
But like,
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah, oh, yeah, I
yo,
agree with that. Okay.
UVA playing against Team USA and only losing by 1 goal is wild to me.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just like, this is possible for that to happen. And I think you put the college team in PLL rules, I think then the PL team is smacking the college team, because that smaller field and that speed is going to be exposed to athletic differences. But putting it in a college field and college rules, I think it balances the playing field a little bit more with that.
I would agree with that.
Oh yeah, because I think the PLL team, with even playing a national champion with college rules, is going to win pretty handily. But yeah, if I wouldn't, but yeah, I can see them playing 3 or 4 the national championship team, or just like any great team that whatever the hypothetical people want to put in there. I can see him scoring 4 or 5 goals, because I wouldn't even say it'd have to be like the Archers against Notre Dame. It could be the Water Dogs against, yeah, like last year's Notre Dame team, and you're naming the team. But then I'm just like, all right, cool. The Water Dogs defense is trotting out Liam Burns, Ben Randall, and like Eli Goldbrick or Marcus Hudgens. So it's like you had 4 elite. They're looking at the cap, and I was like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah.
right. Ben
So I
Randall's like,
tweeted
I got
that.
stiff teeth. Like, I don't like what I don't care.
So I tweeted that in 2020, like asking a similar question like that. Adam Gittleman commented back and said 2010 UVA beat Team USA in a fall scrimmage. And then you just have both sides of the argument being like, the college team would put up a game, and then you have people being like, dude, it's professionals versus college kids, like they would get smacked. And I want to see, there's somebody else that said something.
Why are we acting like there's a massive gap? It's not as that massive. How do I know this? Because there's quite literally not even a gap between when they end their college career for some of these kids who are getting drafted and when they actually have to step on a professional field to play pro lacrosse. There's not even that gap. That you have 2 weeks maybe to prepare for it, and they're coming out and they're making plays. Freshmen, rookies. You're like, I would understand if it was kind of league where rookies don't score really well or don't play really well when they get to the professional league, but that's not the case. They literally leave college, have 2 weeks of break, and then they're playing professional lacrosse. It's not nearly as much of a massive jump. Now, is there a massive jump between a second string midfielder at any Division I school and Tom Schreiber? Of course, but even then, like, Tom Schreiber is not unstoppable. Clearly, Blaze Reardon is not. It's not like you can't score on Blaze Reardon. I don't know. I just don't think it's I don't think it's that far fetched of an idea that it would be a good game.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if it'd be a good game, but it'd be like
here you go, Brian.
What do you mean? Okay. All right.
But again, it depends upon what your definition, of a good game is. So, like, hypothetically, last year's Notre Dame team plays the Water Dogs. I'd say if they play college rules, the Water Dogs win like 14-5. Like, it's a watchable
You think so?
game, something like that. Yeah, it's a watchable game.
14-5 is crazy.
Something like that. Yeah. I would say it would be a score of something like that. And then, but with Gittleman saying that UVA beat Team USA, like the scrimmage thing, but it's like when a D3 team beats a D1 team, and like it's like, oh, it's a scrimmage. Like a lot of time Team USA dudes are like, let's just get this working and not get hurt. Like, and then the UVA guys are like, we're playing pros in Team USA. We're gonna treat this like the national championship. So like it's hard to quantify one with the other, but which I get what he gets, because Adam Gittleman is one of my favorite goalies ever. But I get what he's saying. But yeah, because it's like they roll the ball out. Zach Carrier has the ball. Notre Dame has no answer for Zach Carrier. Like, It's
Well,
Zach Courier. Like like Mikey Sowers is going to cook everybody at Notre Dame. Like, but again, Notre Dame can score because just like you said, the gap's not. It's not like a football thing. Like when people stupidly be like, "Oh, the worst team in the NFL couldn't beat Alabama," and it's like, yes, they would. Yes,
yeah,
they
that wouldn't
would.
be close to
Like,
a game.
stop. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Shane. Like the lacrosse-ness of it is a little bit different than it would be with like basketball or football.
Yeah.
Justin Glazner said in that to my tweet, he said, "I hate to say it because it's ultimately a self chirp, but it would 100% be a close game."
Yeah, yeah. I truly believe that. That's right. I think that it would be a close game because, like, I mean, I don't think it would be 14-5. I mean, I'm not going to deny the scoring ability, but that's like saying that Michael Sowers was completely unstoppable when he was in college, which he wasn't. That's like saying that he's complete. I mean, there are certain aspects of
that COVID year. No, that boy was unstoppable.
yeah, he was okay. Yeah, he had some good moments. I'm not gonna lie to you. He has some good moments, but he's not completely unstoppable. I think Zach Courier is fantastic, but I don't think he's completely unstoppable. I think and there's something to be said about the fact that at the college level, schematically, they are going to be more in tune than the pro level, right? Because like pros understand offense like philosophically to a point where they could do whatever they really wanted to, whereas like a college team would develop a really solid scheme for these players, and it would be well executed. Just of the fact that they have a stick in their hand 40 hours a week, or they're at least lacrosse focused 40 hours a week. I just think it'd be closer than way closer than that, personally.
What are you laughing at?
You get so bad, nothing. We'll talk about it off air. It's funny when we were talking about what earlier. We're trying to have the background on for reasons why he wants to.
Oh yeah.
Your reaction. That's why I was laughing because I'd be doing the same thing. So it's just funny.
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. I'm living in this little Jersey City apartment. It's like you're going to do so much.
Hey, Brian, remember when I said Jersey City out of nowhere and he was like, wow, you're letting everybody know where I stay at, and then he just did it to himself? Like, bro, what are you talking about?
Hey man, you already put me on blast, so I just
no one put you on blast. I said Jersey City.
You're
like,
okay?
No,
you put me on blast every opportunity you get, bro.
Shane was like,
we were looking at houses. And then you were like, "Oh, you're just talking about where I live." I was like, "I didn't tell them where you live.
I got people after me, bro. I got people after me."
Yeah.
But anyway, dude. Speaking of people after me,
Mr. Scotty, why you give me a C in gym, bro?
Right. I got a 6-year-old about to shank me out here. So. These people be after me. They really do. But speaking of people being after me,
Travis Hunter.
Jake Caraway's after me, bro. After I tweeted the other day and said, what game was I watching? I don't remember what.
No, not Jack Caraway, Jack Hanna.
That was Jack Hanna.
Oh, Jack Hanna. Whoops, I didn't look enough. All right, Jack Hanna. All right.
Scotty really don't care about Box McCraw.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember.
I'm like, what is
Jack something?
Bro, listen, man. I'll read you guys the tweets first, and then we'll dive into it. But I was dying laughing because I sent you guys the tweet and was like, tweeting this to get the crowd going. Me, bored, with a cup of coffee and crossing my legs, being like, let me say something to get these people going. And it worked to perfection. I go, this Ohio State game is going to make me consider watching box lacrosse. And then I had Jack Hanna say, wild take from somebody who has a lacrosse podcast.
You listen, Jack Hanna. Respect. You listen to the podcast.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Respect, bro.
And my thing is like, you know what, dude? You're right. I'm going to not watch college football playoff games and watch a box game. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And if you believe that, go take a lap and touch earth because I'm not. Okay? Listen, man, I don't watch box. And the fact is, I'm one of those people who like other things besides lacrosse. Okay. I will watch a football game or a basketball game or whatever. Okay. Depending on what mood I'm in and what I want to watch, I'm going to watch it. Okay. I'm not obligated to watch every single lacrosse game. And I hate to break it to you, man. Box isn't easy to watch like an Ohio State game is. So if you're going to pay for my ESPN Plus, help a brother out. I'll tune in.
Wow. This guy's going to catch all kinds of hell for that one later.
You guys, see, the thing is you guys act like I have a problem with box. No, I have no problem with box. My thing is I just don't watch box. I just don't watch it.
It's a 50-year-old dude in Ontario so mad right now. That you
so mad.
Bro, if somebody came into my house and I'm watching college football and took the remote and put on a box game, we'd be fighting.
Wow.
We'd be fighting.
That's a strong take.
Because I don't even know all the teams, man. Maybe I got to dive in closer and actually understand, because I have people who love box and they express how much they love it, but I'm just not there yet.
I think part of the reason is that I can't follow the progression of the players, because not all of them play Division I lacrosse. Some of them just play don't they just play in whatever Canadian league that they have, like the Senior A or something like that? I
feel like not even some. It's most of them. I feel like.
Yeah, all of the people that are playing in college right now. Well, I would say 90% of the people who are playing in the PLL right now, I've been able to watch the progression from college to the professional league. I actually don't know a single box player that didn't play college lacrosse. I don't know a single one. College, Division I top, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I have no clue. I have no clue who's who. I'm not trying to learn some French Canadian's name.
You know one.
Who?
Treasy. He didn't go to college.
Okay.
But you know him through the PLL, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's a little different, right? Again, it's 90% about box. Yeah, no. One of my buddies, Chris Black, he says me and Brian should do a stick talk only about box and just call it box talk. I'm like, no.
Hey, yo.
No. Hey, yo, it's crazy, by the way. Yeah.
Is this even live, bro? You're funny.
Yes.
I don't even know who that is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I love when they're always I'm not a bot, but.
Oh, so you're alive. What?
Dude, anyway. Don't even respond, Shane. You guys, it's something else, man. Just
let it see what happens.
No, I
care less. Yeah, that's a good point, though, Shane. Yeah, I get, because I think that is definitely part of it too, because it's a growth and development with the players that you know them. Yeah, because a lot of the time they'll say their junior A teams and stuff, and it's and that's all during the summer. So it's I'm not watching I don't know who a lot of these dudes are. I think that's how I got it with box, where I'm into it because of the players that I know or people that I know from college that I've watched in field. Then I'm so I'll watch box. So that's how I know who you are.
I'm gonna say this. I went to a Philadelphia Wings game, and I will say I really, really enjoyed it. I had the time of my life going to a Philadelphia Wings game. I was like, this is dope.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just hard to keep up. I'm not gonna go out my way to watch one of these games right now. If it was on CBS or NBC or Fox right on my TV, I bet I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna enjoy it. Lacrosse is lacrosse, right? I like watching sixes. I'm one of those people who like watching sixes because lacrosse is lacrosse. I'll watch box because lacrosse is lacrosse, but I'm not going out my way to watch box or sixes.
I got you.
I know you're a little mad right now, Brian. I know you love your box game.
No, Nah, like that's how I am with sixes. Like that's why I'm not about to come at you because it's like when people talk about sixes, I don't care about sixes, like at
Yeah.
all. But again, but people like it. I'm not about to rain on somebody's parade. Like don't like it, but if it's on and I had nothing else to do, yeah, I'll watch it. Lacrosse is lacrosse. So I
Yeah.
feel you.
What's your order of lacrosse you like?
Field, then box, or you mean like within
Yeah.
every
Field, box,
Out of
level?
sixes.
field, box, and sixes. Which give me an order.
Oh, field, box, sizable gap.
That's
Sixes.
crazy.
What do you say, Shane?
Field, sixes, box for sure. Sixes is like, yeah, I like sixes. I like the format mostly because I think it's like it's lacrosse ball. It's basic. It's basketball. So like the up and downness, the fact that you don't get your ball back after your shot. I think like yeah. Sixes is cool. I mean, it's when you're playing sixes, it's like, oh, this is a little tough. I'm not gonna lie, just like the up and down. But like watching it is like nonstop action. It's back and forth. It's like, oh my gosh, this is. I mean, you're seeing great shots. You're seeing shots ring out. 2-pointers. I love that. Box is like, I don't know. It's too hockey. I like hockey, by the way. I actually just saw my first hockey game like maybe 2 weeks ago, a week ago. It's pretty sick. But
play hockey in California?
Like, yeah, they got the San Jose Sharks.
Oh,
yeah.
This is where you insert the Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
Let's do that hockey. I don't know. Yeah, I can't name no New York Rangers. Wayne Gretzky.
So
Yeah.
I would agree with Shane. Shane's order. That's what I would agree with.
Okay.
You know what I also think it has to do with the reason why I'm probably the way I am about
You play hockey in California? I had no idea.
That's
the reason I probably am the way I am about box and sixes. The reason why they're not above field is probably because I've never played it. I've never played sixes or box before. So maybe if I get a into the game and like actually play a box game, maybe I might like it a lot more. Who knows?
Playing it is fun. Yeah, playing it is definitely
playing it is fun. Some people do get played like Travis Hunter though. So we're gonna talk about Travis Hunter real quick. Bring it into something that's not lacrosse. Okay, let's do that. All right, is Travis Hunter getting played right now, bro? Let's just have a brother talk right now.
Oh, every day.
I feel so bad for that young dude, man.
I
feel
learned
so bad for him.
So much about this dude's fiance against my will. Against my will. I go on Twitter and I'm sitting there just scrolling and I just hear a new thing that she was with this person and did this and then did this and then did this. And I'm like, as much as you guys found all these, details out about this man's fiance, I hope you find a job application. I hope you find something to do with your life. Find a hobby.
Bro, the FBI,
you
the CIA,
can't be this good.
They gotta be, bro. They gotta check the chat, bro. Y'all are some.
It's crazy, and the thing what sucks about it is that Travis Hunter is a nice person. He's a cool
When
kid.
have you ever heard anything bad about everything you hear about him since he's been since he was in high school? He's a great young man. Like how nice of a person he is,
and yet
he don't do
the
nobody wrong.
Is ruthless, but it's interesting because it's also like seemingly coming from a place where they're like, yeah, your girl is out here for real and you need to know this, but he disabled his accounts, so he doesn't even know. All of his teammates, it's just sickening. Your teammates, I know for a fact he's going to sleep every night with just no food, stomach hurting every night. I saw a video of him the other day. I was like, man, this boy looked like he was crying.
Probably was, man. He's a good guy.
When Michael B. Jordan was at the Golden State game after he broke up with Roy Harvey.
Bro, you know what? I hate to see these young cats go through stuff like this, man. Somebody with such a pure heart, and this is when
don't do nobody wrong, man. He don't do nobody right. He don't Ja Morant nothing. He's a nice kid, man. Internet is
Yep.
savage.
Savage.
People just trying to do something, man. Like, just get him going. It's sad. It's sad, and I'm hoping the best for him. You know, something that was really telling was the Heisman thing. When, like, why the hell are you not going to stand up when your boyfriend?
Oh my gosh!
I want my girl to support me if I cook toast the right way. Like, she better be hype as hell.
Right?
When
You gonna put this on the gram,
biggest
girl?
moment of my life.
Oh man, my wife was sitting there next to me. She was just like, I don't understand why she didn't stand up. I don't understand. Like if you won an award and it was the greatest award you can get as a, you know, in your field, like you would have to pay me to shut up. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like,
bro,
I don't know.
She was out here like it was Colin Kaepernick in the national anthem, bro. Like, come on, fam. Like, stand up, dog.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's crazy, man. This girl just dropped like not supporting Travis at all. But I'm hoping the best.
Having one of the best college football seasons ever, man. Like, how fun was it going to be Travis Hunter or Ashton Jeanty for like the last like month? It's been super fun just like seeing their highlights and nobody's done this before, or the last time this happened, and this is what we're talking about after he wins the Heisman.
Yeah. Well, it's sad to see, but I'm glad we got to talk about Travis Hunter just a little bit. But he just, I feel like he should just trade that in and get a new girl.
Yeah, I mean, he for sure could. I mean, he's about to sign some crazy deal as a CB. Because I think he's gonna push for the defensive the defensive position first, and then be a part-time wide receiver is what I saw.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which I think is what he should do too, because he's such a lockdown cornerback. And you know, it's so funny. I always come back to the conversation we had on the podcast about how if your stats kind of give you a misleading story about, especially defensively, it's like you should not have the amount of, like, people are like, oh, he doesn't have these many fumbles and this many. He's like, yeah, that's because, or forced fumbles, this many pass deflections. I'm like, yeah, that's because they're not passing to whoever he's guarding.
Yep.
You're not giving him that, and so like theoretically he shouldn't have good stats.
Yeah,
like his stats should be horrible.
Yeah.
So you know, it's he could easily do that, man. He just
my thing is, like, you should always have a girl that supports you or a partner who supports you, and if they don't make it obvious that they're supporting you, especially when you're going to be an athlete, because if you don't have that support and you're worried about other things, that's going to affect the way you play in the game. That's why I'm like, yeah, he should trade that in. And he should probably take some advice from Jim Stagnita, who made a crazy trade a couple of weeks ago with Zed Williams and their 23rd pick being traded to the Water Dogs for Matt Brandau and their 17th pick.
Yeah, I just have to. Yeah,
that was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was.
Thank you.
Y'all scared to say it. That was an insane trade. I don't even know what the hell this dude was thinking with this, because everybody's like, "Whoa, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt." Nah, dog, you don't trade a player in his prime, coming off of an MVP-ish type season for. I mean, because I'm a big Brandau guy, so like, because it's just like what Pat Cavanaugh and everybody were talking when he got traded. People were talking about it's more potential, so I understand the potential part of it, but it's hard to trade him. And then plus, which I didn't even think about it because I was listening to the IL podcast when I was shoveling this morning. Shout out Shane.
Man,
when they mentioned they were talking about, oh yeah, they had the first pick. I was like, oh, I forgot they had the first pick in the draft. And it's like, now we got Zed, and Zed's like cut from that Loud Club. I think Zed's one of those dudes that's gonna play lacrosse until he just doesn't want to play anymore. Like, I don't see him putting an age like, oh, I'm 33, I'm gonna stop playing. Like, I feel like he's one of them dudes that's gonna play lacrosse until he's like 40. And it's just like, you're gonna just give him up for like potential future stuff. And I'm just like, nah, man. That, to me, I mean, the trade is happening, so and the Whip Snakes definitely know they're doing as a franchise, but I'm like, that's kind of wild though. A dude in his prime.
Yeah.
Like, here you go, Water Dogs.
You know,
Plus the first pick.
I initially wanted to react the same way. I was like, bro, Zed Williams for Matt Brandau, like, what are we talking about here? Zed Williams led your team in points, right? And that at first glance, I was just like this. But then I had to take a step back because I reacted the same way when they cut Will Manning. And I was like, why the hell are they cutting Will Manning, who just led the team in points the year prior?
Yeah,
But
but Zed is that's a different beast, man.
yeah, but
I got you. That makes sense. So yeah, I didn't think about it like that either. That makes
yeah,
sense.
I mean, you know, it might be Stags doing Stags things, man. As much as I want to be like, yo, that was so stupid. Like, if you just take it at face value, like, yo, it's so easy to be like, that's a stupid trade. But contingent on the results on what happens.
Yeah.
Because,
it could be. Go ahead.
Because week 1, week 2, like when the Whips were losing, we were like, yeah, you know, they definitely should pick up Will Manning. Like, why would they get rid of Will Manning? But then towards the end of the season, Will Manning who?
Yeah,
right?
that's
Because
true.
they started winning and then they ended up in the championship. And if it's the same thing for the Whip Snakes and the Zed trade, like if they start winning and they're doing fine all by themselves, then hey, ain't nobody got to get mad about it. But I'm hoping for them they do well, because if they don't do well, it's going to be one of those things where you guys could be like, yeah, because they made that dumbass trade in December.
Yeah.
Shane, you got anything from that?
I feel like you got some thoughts, Shane.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. The Water Dogs need to win right now. It's a fantastic trade for them, just so that they have that well-roundedness at the attack line. The Whip Snakes, that's a little bit more perplexing. Like, we were runners up this year, and Zed Williams, like, I mean, they didn't have the Whip Snakes didn't have a stellar first half of the season, and then for some reason they decided to turn it up at the second half of the season, and main piece of that was Zed Williams. Like, how do you give that person up, especially when you're already kind of I mean, yeah, you're I don't know when Matt Rambo is going to retire, but I hopefully it becomes soon. Hopefully.
I didn't say it this time.
He didn't have to. I know. I already knew where you were on this. So I mean, shout out Tanner saying Water Dogs one weapon away from being dangerous. Yeah, they are one weapon away from being dangerous. It's probably a Fogo. Don't know who needs to. Yeah, get coach on the line here. Get yourself a Fogo, please, for the love of God, and get yourself a 2-point shooter, please, for the love of God.
They have Connor Kelly,
and that Rylan Reese was their best 2-point shooter,
and they have Jake Caraway.
Okay,
nah, he retired, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Oh,
yeah,
he did. Wait. Is Jack Hanna? Jack Hanna's
not a 2-point shooter.
But he could pull.
Yeah, but he's like,
he definitely could.
He could, but that's not his. That's not his thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're one player away, man. I actually think this is changing them into like a problem. Like last year, they were so close to tipping over the edge with all their close goal games. I think with the Zed Williams trade, I think they can make moves. And as much as I want to be like, yo, get a Fogo, I don't know how much it matters right now. I don't know. I want to see the statistics that correlate face-offs to wins, because I think it's starting to diminish as rules are changing and everything with these face-offs. So,
it's okay. So contextually, in the flow of a game, it may not matter. However, if you are getting to a point where you can get to overtime and you need that first possession, you need a Fogo that is at least going to give you a fighting chance to win that possession for overtime. That's because, I mean, like one of the first games we were like, wow, I can't believe the Water Dogs lost this. They lost it overtime to, oh gosh, Tucci.
Oh, Cannons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zach
Zach
Tucci, yeah.
Tucci. Dude,
They had, like, the
that
best-
was
yeah.
crazy.
That was crazy. And I'm like, if you're gonna, I mean, and that's kind of the main thing is like, if you're gonna lose a game, you can't have it lose in the one position that you should have been. I mean, at least had somebody who can put up a fight. At the very least, I mean, like it was just an easy win. Walked right in, bounce shot. Like you at least need a Fogo who's going to contest.
Yeah.
Like to be a defensive presence, but that wasn't the case.
Stathakis was solid. Yeah, Stathakis was good though.
Yeah, but he didn't show up until after that game.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like if you, I don't know. I think it's a great move for the Water Dogs.
Yeah, I don't know, Tanner. If you're right on that stat, you lose 60% of the games if you lose overall face-off. Maybe it is still important, but
Tanner a coach too, so I feel like I tend to agree that that's probably real. Yeah, I know Tanner's a coach, so that's a real. Yeah, that's that. I'm pretty sure that's a true stat.
Yeah. So, you got anything else to say, Shane, for that?
Nah, I think Water Dogs won that trade.
How's their offense? How does the Maryland offense look now? Because I know a lot of people are going to say TJ Malone, but I feel like a lot of TJ Malone's success is because Zed's there too. So it's like we gotta and Rambo. If Rambo doesn't give you that, and Brando hasn't showed it yet, so I'm like that's why that's the part of the trade. It's just like there's a lot of like assumptions that have to be made that happen that because Zed it's Zed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Zed will be. Oh man. And I heard I was listening to Dan Orestia. Then now the Whip Snakes could use Brandao during the Champ Series too. So who knows? Who knows how much that has to do with something? He could have
won a tour time last year. He could have won a tour time last year if Yale was actually good. So like it's not any condemnation on Brandao, but it's just like Pat Kavanaugh. There were situations where they couldn't show anything. So like you with Brandao, I think he's going to be good, but we don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap here, guys. Let's wrap that up. All right. Another episode of Stick Talk in the bag. Guys, like, comment, subscribe, give us some reactions, interact with us. We love it all. Thank you for your support and everything you guys give us. We probably will not record until after the new year. So this is the last podcast of the year. But guys, we got some good stuff coming on later in the next year. So make sure you stay tuned. Once again, thanks again for your support. It's your boys heading out. Let me play the title song. Wait, ready? I love this. I love doing it on this. Ready? Check it out. It's your boys signing off. We'll catch you guys later. Yup.